Hi, this is Deborah from Dinglefoot Scrapbooking, and I have a very simple birthday card to make today, and this would be more suited to a little girl. So I have just a white card, and then I have a piece of pattern paper. This pattern paper I cut about the same size as the front of the card. I did trim a little bit off on two of the edges just so it's almost the same size but not quite. And then I have a fairy stamp, and this was actually an Inka-Dinka-Doo stamp. I'm not sure if it's still available or not, but just any kind of fairy or a princess stamp that would work. And then I have a little birthday greeting and just a tiny yellow heart brad, and the reason I used that was just because of my pattern paper having hearts on it. And then I have some red ink, and again I just chose that because of my pattern paper. So you can just use whatever you have to make your card. So first of all, we're going to stamp right on the front of this card, and since my fairy is facing to the right with her wand to the right, I'm going to stamp on the left of my card. So we'll ink that up really nicely. And then I'll just go ahead and stamp right on the front of my card. Okay. So that turned out really nice. And then I'm going to place a little bit of adhesive on this paper, and I'm not going to put it any more right now. Then actually I better not do the adhesive, I better do the folding first, because I'm going to stick my brad through, and I don't want the brad going through to this nice inside of my card. So I'm actually just going to take this and just fold it back. You can fold it back as little or as much as you want. So I'm just going to fold it like that. Maybe I'll tweak that just a little bit there so it's more even. And once you get your fold the way that you want it, all you have to do is grab something to poke a hole through your paper. So I'm going to be putting my brad through right about here, maybe two, just to make the edges stand out. I think I'll take my ink pad and just kind of go around the edges a little bit. Then I'm going to take that fold there and do the same thing. Just rub your ink pad along there just a little bit, and it just makes a nice little defining border on there. So now I'm going to go and just poke a hole in the corner there to put my brad through. And that'll just hold all of that in place. So just spread the prongs out there on the back and push them down. And then two, I'm going to take my stamp and stamp right on here. And I think for this, maybe I'll use my gold embossing powder just to make the greeting stand out a little bit. So I'm going to also ink this with the red. Okay. Then I'm going to stamp my greeting right on that piece of paper that's folded back. Make sure I'm getting my ink pad down there into this spot. So I'll try to line this up straight. Just push that onto there, and then quickly put some embossing powder on there. And I'll just dump the rest back into my jar. Tap off the extra, and then I'm going to grab my heat tool and heat up that ink, and I'll be right back. Now that we have everything ready to go, I went ahead and put some adhesive on the back here. So all I have to do is pull off the covering on my double-sided tape here. See if I can grab an edge there. There we go. And then this will go right on the front of the card. So I'm going to line it up with the right side. Just so that that's all nice and straight on the edge there. And this card is finished. Thanks so much for stopping by.